Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. I'm Lizzie Saka from Malawi, and today would like to show you how we make our tomato paste. A lot of you, when you saw my status, one of my status had put tomato paste which I had packed in plastic packs. You were asking me how I did it. So this is our process. I want to document the process for you. I'll be combining English and Chichewa in case someone is not understanding what I'm saying. Yeah, so we have these tomatoes, as you can see. As you can see, this is our very smallest tomatoes. Our tomatoes are going towards the end. This is tomato from our garden. Ndieno tomato wina akuoneka kuonongeka komanso wachulukisa amene uyu mu fridge momwe azaza. Now we need to do some value addition. Ndiye awawa timati ma post harvest losses. To prevent the post harvest losses, if you see in the basket, there is this one is completely finished. It's completely useless. We can't use it. This one also. So mukapita kumisika kuja mukapeza kuti zimene zizi zimachitika ndithu anthu amangomutaya tomato uja. So if we keep this tomato for much longer, we'll find that wambiri waola takangontaya. Now that is why we are trying to process it into a value added product. Ndeti yosamo wabwino uyu sikuti yese doipa ngati uyu wabwino ndeti masankhula. So do grading. After the grading, we'll be putting them here. So this is our bucket of water. We clean the tomatoes, and after we've cleaned them, we remove the heart. We remove the top. This bit, yeah. So that's what we are doing. So we have someone doing the grading, and then someone is doing the cleaning and the cutting, and then the ones that have been cut are being put in this pot. Yeah, we cut them in half, just like that. They will keep with me as I go through the process. It's a bit long, but it's worth it. You love it. We are done cleaning and cutting the tomatoes. As you can see, this is where we're at. You may be asking that, why are we cutting the tomatoes? Why can't we just cook them as they are? So I'm going to put in a bit of bay leaf. It is advisable that you put them in a bag, in a muslin bag, so that it just infuses. So this is paprika. I'm also putting in a spoon or 2 of paprika. So 2 tablespoons of paprika. That's all. Now we'll let that boil. Right. So I was saying, you may be asking, kodi ndesi muphika tomato umene alili osavutika ndikundula yankhulake inde munthu akuphika tomato osamudula ali waho bwinobwino ndizotheka. However, tikapanga cut like this, timakhala panga reduce size ya tomato oyo, so the cooking is faster, and also basically tikufuna tipange increase efficiency. The cooking is faster than when we cook a whole tomato. Chinthu chomwe tachiduladula chimapsa mwachangu kusiyana ndi chinthu chomwe tachiphika mene chilili. Yes, so after this tizapanga next step, which is blending. Ndena muthaso kufunsa kuti kodi bwanji tisitingangopanga blend kaye and then nkupanga cook. It is also another way of doing it. However, ndimaona kuti taste imasiyana. Yeah, taste imasiyana. Pamene mukayamba mwaphika chonchi kenako nkukapanga blend, the flavor is different. Okay? Yeah. So we need to do a bit of stirring. Kudisayale pasipo. Should pay attention to it. Yeah. So tiphika mpakana apshe. See? Apapande kuti tomato iseyu akanatha kuonongeka nkukamuraya koma poti tikumphika basi tampulumutsa. tiphika mpaka maskins akhale lusi aphikike. Ndetafikano apa. After the cooking, we let the tomatoes cool. Then after the cooling, we blended it. So now this is how thick it is. We'll package this. The next, we are just waiting for it to cool down, to completely cool down, and then we can cook it again. Package it. Yeah. Sometimes after blending, we do a bit of cooking just to make it thicken, especially when you've not boiled it to the point that maza aphiramo kwambiri. Ndi matha kupanga blend ndikuyikaso pa moto ndikuphikako pang'ono yetu ndeza tomato amene so tili apa ta blender tomato wa thick tilede kuti tipakire. So this is our tomato, as I already said earlier on. We want to package it. So we need the tomato which we've already cooked, blended, as already shown to you. Then mazi. We need mazi wandaikapo ifo kuti tikamapanga seal ndikendo imaocha. So timagwira tikamamata ma plastic iwa, we don't want to burn ourselves. So tisigwira mazi ndikupagwira pakendo. Tifuna soka yokuti tizidungira tomato. Soka kundiyika apa. Komanso we need a funnel. So you may be saying, why a funnel? Kodi tikamango tira ndikapo yo zimavuto tiramo zimangopanga mess. So I don't want a mess. And then this is our packaging material. Tingi machubu awa, ma plastic tubes. Ma plastic tubes awa amapezeka musika mwambiri mbiri. Yeah. Ngati muli ndi glass, if you have a glass packaging material, you can put koma izizi tikaika mu deep freezer. So mukati muike mu glass mu deep freezer imakatsweka. But the good thing about glass is that if you have got a good seal, you can pasteurize it. Maphika uja timpakire. Ngakone tsanekale tomato yomene alili. Tichoteka mazi awa kuti tikaocha pa kendopa. Tizigwira pa kendo imatha kuocha. Now funnel tukita chonchi for this tifuna tipange mess. Right? Ndike nako nditenga tomato uja umu uyo. And the funnel makes things very easy. Yeah. Kapo yo tizibwezeresa momwemo. And then the funnel is made kuti pasipo pafunika ndike bombale kuti ndisapande kumesi. Kenako tiwocha. Okay. Komanso sindifunika kuti ndikuleme mazi akale. Kwa mazi ndikendo sizigwirizana. Ndimoto kani. Ala sort package kangibwe. Ndetiyendesa pakendo. Tiziyendesa pang'ono mukugwirapo. Mapangako mpira wa chikulunga. Meti mapangira mpira wa chikulunga uja timati kuocha mukugwirapo, kuocha mukugwirapo. Tekniki yake ndi yomweyo. Maona? Sakutayika. Pack number 1. Tikumata apa pachonchi chifukwa yokuti machubu wandafupafupi ndi amavuto tu amange. Ndiye kuti tusemo titomato tochepa kwambiri ngatikufuna kuti zitheke. Otherwise bwezi tikungomanga ngati pieces. Ngativuta kuti machubuwo ndafupafupi. Komanso ndiko nditemetu kuthirayo sizugwira. Maona? Ndiye kuti apapa tikuthira zogwirizana ndi ndiwo zimene tatani zomwe titaphikise imene tizangotenga chubu imodzi ngati tikuphika kandi usipa basi tingotenthesa kamafuta pang'ono kuyikamo anyezi imenemo basi nkuthiramo tomato athu basi ndiye kuti tikatero tapanga reduce the hassle. Yes. So the process yofunika patience makamaka yocha. Apena umapezeka wocha kwambiri wabola. 2. Aba bantu mtafuna ukugulisana ndizikugulisana. Mwina packet ndizibanga 5 hands. Maso 5 hands ndi ya cheap. Kodi panombo tomato kandi muwiri 500 euro. Right? But in your own time, you do it slowly. There's no rush. Koma kumbukirani kuti tomato uyu pajati kunena nkhani ya perishability nde tomato uyu sitikufuna kuti apange ferment. Remember that even after the cooking, tomato can ferment. Ndio mukuyena kuyesesa kuti musamukhazike nthawi yayitali ali pamtetete musanamutani musanamupange package. Akazizira immediately mpangeni package. Musamusiye nthawi yayitali. Musamusiye nthawi yayitali ali pamtetete chifukwa kenako muyamba kugwirano ma environmental microorganisms amene ayambise fermentation. Package iyi ikundivuta chifukwa ndazazisa kwambiri. Nde tomato uyo akusuntha akuzasolo kuzimisa kandulo bwinobwino. Tabola pamenepo. Yeah, you can see this package is much bigger than this two. This one. This one. Tabola pena pake akutayika. See? So you have to make sure that the package is completely properly sealed. Okay, looks like that one is Nangende, but you know how it goes. Homemade stuff. Ababa makesfulibe atima so chwage tukuvisa chitopendo. Komabe olada ngakhauli magetsi wakuyaka mwina bweziso situkuvisa be chitopendo oyo poti tilibe sira. So ngati mwe ndi kuthekera, you can go buy a sealer in town. They used to be cheap, but these days, you know, everything else has gone. It's very expensive. So, panopa singuzoti akuyenda mabwanji masirawo. Koma ilipo ndithu yokumango ipanga plug in kumagesiko, nkudina apo kanthu kako kwa basi imapangidwa siyo. Zakunyumba to very rudimentary. Tabola. As you can see, what I eager. Okay. So what I'm going to do there, not worry too much about it. You have to wash your hands frequently. So pasavute, you benya bogiramo, it's over the concept for your day. So if you want to manage, you can put more much. Nice. So that looks like a double package now. I do the sheet red. That looks like a double package. You'll see this one. The one that's outside. So you get the idea. This is what we do. Okay. This is what we do. And then afterwards, we're going to put this in the deep freezer. Good. So, tili pankani ya packaging yomwe apa tunena kuti we are increasing convenience. Yes, we want kuti tikamaphika tisamatayiso nthawi kuphika matomato. Yeah, koma pankani. So, can we call this canning? Because in the industrial manner as a packaging ya glass. So that's like canning. But now that we are putting in a plastic package, mine has been canning. But what I want to highlight is that right now, I think in Italy, there's an issue with the outbreak. I don't know how they are even calling it an outbreak. You can't follow how many there's an outbreak, yeah, botulism. So botulism is a type of illness or food infection illness that one gets because they ate contaminated food. And mostly it's canned foods which have been contaminated by a bacteria that is called Clostridium botulinum. When you're doing the home canning, you have to be sure that you are observing the rules, that is pasteurization or sometimes even sterilization. You have to properly sterilize things because botulinum is very aggressive. It causes abortions in women and major illnesses, sometimes nervous breakdown, not breakdown, but nervous infection of the nervous system. So paralysis can occur. So when you're doing the home canning, those are the things hygiene must be observed at all times. Yeah. So when you're doing home canning, you have to observe hygiene. When you're using cans like glass packaging, you have to make sure that the bottles are sterilized. When to use a plastic packaging, we can't do that sterilization. Ifake kufuna kuti mwansanga tizipange zinthu zipakeji zisakhalise pantunda komanso tikazipanga chani tikazipanga freeze because we don't want any contamination. Yeah, so that's the matter. Tomato watuja mati mpakire ndeti mapanga choncho. Basi tekniki yake yakumuzi anthu amene amagulisa mchere paja amamata choncho. Machubu athu foti ndafupafupi sitingathe kuwamanga ngati mmene timamangira fizesi. Tamangapo ndithu maona bese linasapa ng'ono kuzaza ili mwina adusa 30 amene ndi kuti ndi 30 days imeneyo tungotengapo kachubu kamozi uphikira ndiwo mpaka 30 days, imagine. So this tomato can be used as a base for other sauces like in a pasta sauce ndandani ndoti kungotenga waphika pasta wako kuthiramo tina mtina mchere, you just season with salt and bwino mnyemba tizingothiramo tenga kapaketi kamozi mwina udula hafu ponya mnyemba.